Sometimes I do miss the times of everything getting a video game. Do you think they would still make an M&M's video game nowadays? Surely not. Feels bad for the people being born today and yesterday, missing out on the golden times of trash games with soul. Serves them right, making me feel old even if I'm still quite young. Or maybe the game has no soul at all. You will be the judge of that when you see more of this. Can a game that is pretty much a product placement even be called soulful? The story is like the story of my life. Yellow wanted to be a slacker, and instead of doing the work by himself, he let the minis do the work and they suck at it. I love how the game makes their own product the villain, even going as far as saying, they're not that bad, just give them a chance. That does not inspire me to buy your product at all.
So schlecht sind die Minis nicht. Alles, was die brauchen, ist eine Chance.
And yes, I'm playing the German version. Why? Well, I just kinda like the German dub. It's what I grew up with, seeing these things talk in ads and all that. Normally I would have picked the Japanese dub, but there is none. I am not a weep. It starts with a driving stage, and another one, with a third one right after, because why not? People complain about the races in Crash 3, but at least you don't have them all in a row and they're spread between different worlds. The game already gives you way more lives here than you will ever need. You won't die that often, I hope. Actually, you kinda will. Most of the time not because the game is hard, but you will mutter the words, "There was nothing I could have done." Like my favorite game of all time a lot, since the game likes to mess you up with its movement sometimes. But all those lives come at the cost of having to hear this every single time you hit a box. You will slowly descend into madness every time you hear the minis. Why are they even in the box? Isn't it a good thing they're in the box so they can't do anything bad since they're kinda the villains? So us collecting them just sets more of them free. Later on you even get to box the minis up again, so that goes against the whole system of breaking the crates. And why are there even bikers or other cars trying to hit us? What do they have to do with any of this? Do they love the minis that much that they don't want us to stop them? Again, it's a bad advertisement because they crash by themselves into trees. So eating these dumb minis makes you want to kill yourself. Smarties are better anyways. Same goes for the robots at the factory. How did the minis make them work for them? Do they use some kind of mind control? So, you arrive at the factory and here the biggest issue gets thrown into your face. It all plays inside of the factory. Crash 1 was great because you're on an island, but every part of it is different. In Crash 2, you have a level select and tons of different things like ice cream levels and new stuff that makes you happy. In Crash 3, you have that whole time error thing going on. Here, factory. You are inside of a factory with a lot of factories inside of the factory. There's nothing else here. You know what else is great about Crash? The movement and the whirl attack, and to be fair, that attack feels nice here too. Same with the movement, really generic, but it works, so you can't complain about it. For now. There's also different crates. Most of them only have minis that work like the Wumba foods, but the brown crates, I would rather build brown bricks in Minecraft, have power-ups in them or a piece of a used package of some M&Ms. I do not know what those symbols do if you collect them all, and even the official M&M's wiki does not know it either. Why does that even exist? The wiki. Why do I need a wiki for M&M's? Are there even that many fans out there that really care about the lore of it? Probably. There's something for that for everything in the world nowadays. Sometimes it's best to keep things as a secret to your audience though. Wanna know what it does? Go to play it by yourself and collect them all. I can't take all that suffering by myself. Maybe I would have tried getting all crates if the game had trophies or a crate counter. Collecting them all would be harder than in Crash 4 though. But you got fast shoes, sadly no fast pants or even turbo pants, a spring and a helmet. The shoes make you go faster and they suck because you go too fast and they make this annoying sound. The spring makes you jump higher for a few jumps, and the helmet protects you from multiple hits so you can just run into enemies and be dumped. And the first world also already shows you why you shouldn't make a game about candy, because what do you think of when you think of M&Ms? Yep, the normal M&Ms. So what do they fight against? Dumb robots with googly eyes. Like, did Rare make this game? Once upon a time I was a Banjo-Kazooie hater, but I came around to it, to the first game at least, and now even love it. But I can't deny that just slapping big eyes onto animals or house objects does not make for the best NPC designs. They have their charm, but even a woman that will steal all of your money away has that. She may even take the kids, the house, the dog or the cat, your favorite carpet, the coffee machine, the supply of Pepsi Max, but the worst of it all is that she will leave you all alone with a broken heart that can't be mended back for the rest of your life. That's what it feels like to play Banjo-Tooie for me. I would rather get divorced again than to play that ever again. Or this. But then you see the bosses and wish they would actually put some funny eyes on them because they're also just uncool looking. Bosses need to be cool and epic, not like this. Remember when the word epic was really epic, but then people thought saying epic is actually cringe? We need to bring it back. Let's say epic for the win again. Actually, let's not do that. These boss health bars are even uglier than the ones from the Demon's Souls remake. Can this even be called a bar since it's a single collar? Normally a bar has a border with a different color than the collar inside of it. I didn't study UI design at university because I've never seen one from the inside, but even I know that. Minimalism taken too far. I hate it. Imagine if black metal bands suddenly decided to do the same like most companies. What's the appeal? I want things to look crazy and over-designed. Over-design doesn't even exist, but that's a totally different topic for a different day, because I don't think over-design exists in anything in life. You can over-design a character that's not over-designed. Like, it doesn't exist to me. I love it. Give your character everything you want. It looks cool as hell. Maybe the boss health bar was made by the janitor because the first boss is beaten by shitting on him. I shit you not. I don't even have toilet humor, but that chocolate looks like poop. Everyone who plays this game will make this joke. What if it's not a joke though? Maybe it really is not chocolate. I can't even really eat chocolate anymore since I'm lactose intolerant, so I can't even ruin my taste for chocolate because I have none for that anymore. Kind of. I have to mention this whenever I have to talk about milk products. I'm sorry. This is what, this is how you can spot a lactose intolerant person. How will you spot them? They will tell you. Yay, World 2 instead of a factory, and one of the worst things in the whole game gets introduced here. The physics of the movement when being on treadmills or moving platforms is extremely messed up, more than the inside of my brain. Was this too edgy? I swear I'm a normal member of society. I mean, people love Shadow nowadays again, so edge is back in style, right? So I can say I'm messed up, yay! Your normal jump movement gets melted together with the momentum movement of the treadmills. So if you jump normally, you still get pulled back when the treadmill goes backwards, or you suddenly make a way bigger jump than normally forwards if it goes forward. But even if you stand still first, the second one makes sense, the first one doesn't. The same happens to floating platforms you have to jump from. Even if you stand still before, the momentum you get on these just feels completely wrong. I wasn't the best in physics class, but I don't think that's how it works. Like, look at this. I try to jump and go forward, but it's moving me backwards suddenly since the treadmill goes into that direction because I still have the momentum of it. It's hard to explain, but I can swear to you it wasn't me just pulling the stick back. Maybe try it for yourself to really see how bad it is. Don't do it, you will suffer and get nothing from it. I can at least make a video out of it, but you probably wouldn't. Treat yourself to a good game instead. Sometimes even after respawning I still had the messed up physics at first. How is it moving me onto the deadly floor without me even pressing anything here? Normally it respawns me, dropping from here to down onto the checkpoint, but here it just flung me forward to kill me. In this world, you are not allowed to get onto the floor. Do you see this floor? Would you think you're not allowed to get onto it? Probably not. You're lying if you said yes, I see you. Don't lie. Lying is bad. Most of the level is also just a black abyss. Doesn't abyss always have to be black to be one, or could it also have a different color like a pink abyss? Probably, right? Where it totally makes sense to not jump into. Nobody jumps in there to make you think like, oh, I can jump on there, right? Like if I fall into a hole, that totally isn't bad for me, right? But why this floor? The floor even gets it wide in other levels, like not putting your little feet onto the floor. It's filled with electricity. Why isn't this floor different? Why is it a normal floor with nothing on it? No paint, no insects, no anything that could kill you. You just die on there. Nobody is dumb enough to step onto electricity. In another level, I was scared of jumping onto the floor and thought I had to do some actual skillful things, like waiting for the enemy to come close, jump onto a box and another box to wait for him to pass and then continue. But no, you can just get onto the floor here. What makes this floor so different from the other floor? Sure, the farther you go, the more you see that you have to get off the treadmill here, but still, before you see the end of it, you kind of think, Can I even stand there? The other floor just made me too paranoid. Doesn't help that there's a suicide bomber or multiple of them in this level and they just jump into the nitro and TNT boxes and go boom to get you too. Why would they do that? A little thing I just wanted to complain about is this checkpoint. Why is the checkpoint in the middle of the other two paths? Why not put this checkpoint also up? There's nothing here except for the checkpoint. You get it and then you have to wait for the platform again. Why did the person who was making this think, yep, let's put the checkpoint here. That's even more work for you, my guy. You have to carve this path in here to get the checkpoint here. Why not put the checkpoint on top? Why did you do this? I hope this reaches the person responsible for it so they can tell me. I will just quote a famous star here. What were they thinking? I want you to laugh at me, because before I reach the checkpoint, I thought I have to jump down here since the platform took a while to come down. I want to show this to you so you can learn how to be patient. It's also a chance to call me an idiot for having a death like this. So go ahead, I know you want to do it. You can insult me. There's also this boss in this world that you never even get to see really. I thought, yay, time for a boss. And it's a stage where you have to run away from the boss, but he is so slow that you will never ever feel like he's actually behind you. You don't even get to kill him, you just teleport away. All the other bosses at least fall down somewhere or explode. And it satisfies my inner love for seeing people die in video games. Or bosses or evil people, warbots, I don't know. But this one just shows up for 1 second each phase and disappears because you're just too fast, like in bed, falling asleep. Look at this boss who shows up after another 2 stages with the forklift driving. I wish I had a forklift license like my dad. Kaboom. These driving stages are actually fun though, since they can be fairly challenging if you try to hit the grades. But it's driving and driving again. Why not sprinkle those in sometimes here and there, like onto ice cream, instead of putting them right after each other? But I also love this car driving boss where you have to get onto the white symbol or else you go kaboom yourself. Why do they even have this in their factory? He doesn't even drop the boxes, they're just there on the path. He does nothing, you just follow him. But then there's also this guy who is just like the poop boss, but the poop boss always followed you though. Here he just randomly moves around and it's more precise. Still as easy as me though. If you ask me out, I will for sure say yes. Also, did you know that the actual boss of the M&Ms is called Big Boss?
Ah, oh nein, die Big Boss Kamera.
I never even knew he had his own candy factory. That man really got all around, didn't he? Probably getting all the funding for the weapon and stuff from this. To everyone who buys these colored little chocolate treats, your funding was. Make a choice, candy or war. As a lactose intolerant person, I made my choice willingly. And yes, the favorite M&M of many people shows up, green or grün, but in the German version they're still called the English names. So red is red instead of rot, and yellow is yellow and not gelb. When I eat one I still call them by their German names. Wow, ich esse gerade ein rotes M&M. M und M, not M&M, but it's still called M&M in German and not M und M. Nobody would say this though, you would just say you're eating M&Ms, like, oh, ich esse gerade M&Ms, not the specific color. You wouldn't say that you're eating this specific color right now. Why do they have names? I don't call them the red M&M. Maybe you do, but that would make you a psychopath. Also, once upon a time, the joke about having sex with the green M&M may have been funny, but nowadays it's too normalized. You can say you want to fuck it, and people just go, yep, same. Where's the fun in that? Back in the day, people would have looked at you in a funny way and asked you if everything is okay with you. The internet made it too acceptable to talk about your weird fetishes. Especially people who are into feet are way too open about that. We need to strike fear back into them and make them keep it as a secret. Nowadays, they even made her wear pants down. And sneakers. It's just not the same without the boots. I'm not the fashion police, but this is really soul versus soulless. One of the positive aspects I can say is one of the tracks on the OST. It kinda sounded like a happy-go-lucky town theme in a JRPG to me. The quality of the tracks is so bad though that I was only able to use it right here at the end because if I used it earlier, your ears would have started to bleed. If you didn't already stop watching the video because of my accent and Germanness. After the final boss, that is maybe the easiest boss in the whole game, all of them are easy so it doesn't really matter, it's finally after a bit more than an hour. But hey, sometimes being short is a good thing, not just for a bad game so it's not too much suffering, but also in real life. I never have to bend down to get through a door, and you could easily put me into the trunk of your car for whatever reason, since it's easy for me to fit in here. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video and will have a good day, a good night, or whatever fits your time zone, and this was not a paid video, just wanted to say that. Once I bought Skittles because I thought Skittles are just like M&Ms, but you know, they do not taste like them at all. I wasn't the smartest kid. Haha, Smarties joke, get it? I still like them and haven't had them in a long time. None of them. I haven't had M&Ms in a while, no Smarties, no Skittles. Bye bye.